So I have a theory that when they say unknown object that one of our submarines collided with in the South China Sea, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that was probably a Chinese submarine and a U.S. Navy submarine collided with it. Um, that's suboptimal. It happens sometimes. They'll play this cat and mouse game, right, where they'll tail each other basically underwater. And then sometimes they'll either they'll just shut their engines down all of a sudden, right? And then see if, that way anybody behind them also has to shut their engines down, or, stop spinning their propeller. I mean, it's the propeller's shaft is turned by uh, shaft horsepower from a nuclear reactor and a steam turbine. They don't actually, but anyways, they stop spinning their propeller, they shut down their coolant pumps, and they stop making noise, right? They want to shut down their propulsion plant so that they stop making noise, and they stop spinning the propeller, which stops making noise, and then they listen behind them for a minute to see if anybody's following them. But while they do that, their propulsion also stops, so then their speed drops, and then if there's anybody tailing them really closely, and if they happen to be going too fast, there can be a collision. And it's a pretty good chance that's exactly what happened. Not sure who was tailing whom and who, like, it's like tailgating and brake checking, right? It's like, the tailgater is like, why'd you brake check me, man? And then the brake checker is like, why were you tailgating me, man? And so I don't know. But yeah, it's a dicey situation. Um, I haven't seen anything from China about them having a collision, so that means that their government is probably just eager to not mention the incident because they don't want to escalate things. I guess that's good. Also, we haven't mentioned what's happened, so that's a sign that we don't want to escalate things, which is good. Um, Not fan of the whole cloak and dagger dealio, but I don't know. It does make sense that they would not disclose that information, um, leading me to speculate and think. I don't know. I am constantly afraid of war with China, though, because, well, I know how unbelievably devastating it would actually be. Um, I guess that's a little ridiculous coming from somebody who's never been to war. Um, I've just looked at the numbers and how the technology works extensively, and I've read a lot of people's accounts of what things like World War II was like, and I don't think that I have an intuition for what that experience would be like for anyone in particular. I just know that by the numbers, the number of people who would die and the number of people that would exist in a state of starvation and other things for a significant duration of time until the war is over, it would be pretty brutal. And I don't want to see that happen. I don't really know if I can do anything about it though. Um, it's we have these differences with China, including very serious complaints about their human rights violations. But I mean, we have human rights violations too. Obviously, not as well, not anywhere near as severe, but there's room to work together and to improve the world without you maniacs blowing it all up. Um, as Charlton Heston famously said. Um, yeah, it's not a good situation. I'm glad that it's not spiraling out of control at the moment, but I don't know. I guess maybe I'll finally get to fly a fighter jet, but it's not going to be fun, and I never really thought it would be. It's just I don't want poor people and robots to do it for us if we go to war. I think I should participate in that. Um, but it hasn't come to that yet, and I don't know. Well, basically, it's not that I necessarily should. It's that I will either spend my time protesting the war or I will join the military. I just won't take the half measure, right? So I'll either be for it or against it. The one thing I won't do is half-assedly support it or half-assedly be against it, because that's I don't know. That's not completely unreasonable. I'm not saying everybody needs to dedicate their lives to anti-war protesting or anything. It's just that Um, I want to do one or the other, right? It's like I either want to decide that it's wrong and we shouldn't do it, and I want to try to stop it, or if it is something that's truly necessary, I want it to end as quickly as possible and with as little needless pain and suffering as possible. Um, and I don't know which scenario we're in yet because it hasn't started yet, and I'm hoping that it doesn't. But yeah, unknown object pretty definitely means Chinese submarine.